Odell Beckham Jr. torn ACL. He is out for the rest of the year in Cleveland. He obviously got injured while chasing down a guy who had an interception on maybe the first pass I think Baker had that week. It was something that I think everybody was bummed about, obviously, as we are for this whole thing. But then if you look at what the Browns did afterwards, you almost think like, I'm bummed now that the Browns potentially figured out how to throw the football and they don't have Odell Beckham. Like, that is something I'm bummed about. I wish that I could have seen that Cleveland Browns offense, which after a pick or two there by Baker early, I don't think he missed a pass for like the next 3 quarters. It was
22 of 23, I believe.
Yeah, 22 of 23, and I think that was a spike. I think the one was a spike where it wasn't even like he just got onto an absolute heater. And for me as a fan, I wish that Odell would have been out there so we could see some nasty Odell Beckham shit. And instead, he's out for the year. The Browns lose a weapon. What's the future with Odell Beckham in Cleveland? Nobody knows. Josina Anderson said she got a text from Odell Beckham. She says Odell Beckham told her torn ACL, he's out for the season. What is the thought now with this, with the Cleveland Browns? I assume there's going to be a lot of banter surrounding him potentially being on the trade block or not being a Cleveland Brown next year.
You would be right about that. Yeah, I mean, it is a torn ACL. And actually, last night, really after the game, everyone kind of knew what this was. I mean, the confirmation came in the MRI, but talking to people yesterday, like, they all knew it was really bad. So I didn't, usually when a player's injured and there's an MRI, it's like, oh, wait for the MRI. It wasn't like that yesterday. It was like, bad news. Like, I guess maybe we'll get some good luck, but this is going to be terrible. Like, everybody knew. So I think it seems like Cleveland kind of came to grips with this yesterday. Couple interesting things, though. One, how well the team played after he was gone. Like, Baker looked good, and I know Odell is great. He is a great talent. But I don't know if Baker's better when Odell is out there, but he sometimes looks better. So that was kind of an interesting part of it, going to be fascinating to follow going forward. And then, you mentioned the possible trade stuff. He's injured now. He's going to be injured for 9 months. So his injury guarantee for 2021 is going to end up becoming fully guaranteed. So they cannot cut him. So basically the only option, if they do end up wanting to move on from him, is to trade him when he gets healthy, when he can prove to teams he's healthy, which would probably be in like July or August if a trade happened. So the injury very, very much complicates his future in general and then in Cleveland.
Well, I hope they figure it out. I think OBJ is at a point in his life where all he wants to do is win games. And aside from Odell, there was a lot of other wide receivers that were allegedly on the trade block last week. Well, I think you were still in hibernation. No, I think it came out. But there's A.J. Green, allegedly, Julio Jones. You're talking about a lot of big-name, marquee names that are potentially on the trade block at a position that a lot of teams would desire having.